What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video, creating a simple pencil illustration of N for murder drones. Let's start today's lesson by adding some guidelines to help with the balance and symmetry of our drawing. We're going to start by sketching a line coming down the center of our page. So we'll start from the very top. I'm just going to lightly work our way down the center, down towards the bottom of our page. Let's go to the middle and draw another line going across from left to right. Now you use these two lines to help us create a circle in the center of our page to define the size of the head. So from that center point, let's move up to right about here. It's going to mark off the top. Let's take that same distance from the center down towards the bottom. And then we'll repeat that across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center over toward the left and then the right side. Now we want to connect the center point of each mark with a curve to create our circle. So we just want to rough this in. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to get the right size and placement in the center of our page. You always go back and just smooth this out. Now with our circle in place, let's start blocking out the facial features. We're going to start with the inside edge of the eyes. From the center line, let's move over towards left to right about here. Draw a straight line going up and down. Now you want to take that same distance over towards the right and do the same thing. Now from this point, we're going to draw a large oval, going up and out to the top, come down towards the bottom, and then bend that back up towards the top. Let's draw that same size oval on the right side. We just want to line up the top, also lining up the bottom. Now we want to draw the bottom edge of the mask just underneath the eyes. So we're going to line up the bottom of the eye on the outside of the head. Just going to bend this down. Pull that up towards the middle. Do the same thing on the right. Just coming down underneath the eye and in. And then we'll round out the center. Let's shift the mouth over towards the left side. So from the edge of the mask, come down and across. Go back to the left side, curve down towards the bottom, and then bend that back up. Now from here, we're going to start adding some shape to the hair. Let's start directly above the left eye towards the top of our circle. And curve this around. And then bend that up. Curl this in. And it's going to bend that back down toward that starting point. Let's add another curl. Starting from the top, we're going to bend this up. Come down and then up just past the side of our circle. Go across the top of the right eye and in. Let's add another curl. Coming around and down. I'm just going to pull that up toward the side of the head. Come all the way around and just tuck that up underneath. Now over on the left side, we're just going to curl this around the eye. So we're going to start from the top, come around, and then bend that in just underneath the eye. Go around the outside of the head, go up and then back in. Let's add a small curl coming around the right side of the head and in, and bend that back out. Let's add some curls going out from the side. Let's start on the left side, bend this out and up. Let's line this up on the right side, and come down and bend that in towards the bottom of the head. Let's add another curl, stepping out, come down and in. Now let's go back up to the top and draw the edge of the hat brim. We're going to start on the left, going up in the middle, go across and then down towards the right. Let's go back to the left side and draw the top of the hat. We're going to bend this out, go up and in towards the middle, come around and just tuck that in towards the side. Now it's going to add a little bit more detail to the neck. From the side of the head, it's going to bend this in and then down towards the bottom of the collar. Now from the bottom, bend this up and out, and just bend this back in underneath the hair. Let's go back and clean up our drawing by erasing some of these guidelines. And now we're going to use this rough sketch as a guide to help us add some more detail. Now I'm going to start along the top with the hair. We want to add some folds going around. Come down and across, just adding a little bit of texture along the inside. Step back, I'm just going to fold this around and come up on the inside. Going across the bottom, round at the top, and in. Now I'm just going to add some layers across the rest of the hair, starting along the top, bending this down, and then from the tip, just adding some layers coming across. I'm just going to continue along the outside. Then along the side of the hair. Now I'm just going to clean up the eyes along the outside, and then just tucking that up underneath the hair. I also want to add the tongue on the inside and just lightly shade in the inside of the mouth. Now going back up to the top, we're going to add those ovals. We're going to start in the middle. Lightly sketch this out. Now as you come down the side, we're just going to angle this down. Going around and then back up. Now I'm just going to add a fur collar across the neck. So starting from the bottom, I'm just going to add a little bit of texture going up and out, and just pulling that fur across the side. Now I'm going to go back and clean up our drawing one final time before we add more detail and shading. And now we're going to go back in and start darkening up our contrast. I'm going to go back to with the hair. Now we're going to go back and add some more texture to the collar. Just pulling this texture going out and up, starting from the center. And then from the outside, we just work our way back in. Now I'm going to move to the side edge of my pencil and start adding some shadows, starting with the hair along the bottom. I want to go darker along the bottom and just fade that up towards a highlight. Now I want to give the head some shape, so we're just going to shade in the outside, going a little bit darker and then fading that in. And then the head's going to cast a shadow across the top of the neck, so darken that up and then fade that down. Just darken up the inside of the hat brim going around those ovals. Now as I come towards the middle, I'm just going to fade this out to create a bit of a highlight and then darken up the right side. Now I want to do the same thing with the mask. So we're going to darken up the outsides, going around the eyes. And as we get towards the middle, we're just going to fade this out. So we want that highlight in the center of the mask. And go to the right side and do the same thing. Just working our way across. I'm just going to go back and just smooth out that transition. I'm also going to add a shadow across the top, so the hair is casting a shadow on top of the mask. Now with the hat, we're just going to darken up the outside and do the same thing. Just fading that in towards the middle. Just add a light shade to the center of the hat. Now as we get closer to the end, I'm just going to tighten up my shadows and contrast, and always be sure to sign my artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of N from Murder Drones. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single week. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.